Hi, Abraham. My relationship with my partner has not been ideal. I heard you say that while we are doing all the housework and the like, that the other won't be appreciating while we are in a state of victimhood. And that really spoke to me. So I shifted to doing all these things and seeing the joy in it rather than what he was not doing or helping with. And I saw a slight shift in him after doing this. Now, however, he insists that I'm not fully willing to make an effort in this marriage or willing to change because I don't want to hang out with his friends. And he is saying that that is very important to him. And yes, I don't want to do things or be with people I don't want to be with and waste time being bored. I'd rather go to the beach or do something that brings me pure joy. And when I do go, he says I'm not putting in enough effort. I'm trying to do a list of positive aspects of him and things around me to help the situation, and also has started counseling, which I know talking about past things won't strengthen relationships. Any advice would be appreciated. Thank you.
Well, we are appreciating your video presentation because you have brought us back down to earth, so to speak. We were talking in the first 3 videos, processes, laws of the universe, point of attraction, how to get what you want. And now your video presentation has brought us into real life, living with you and another person. And everything that we've talked about applies. But let's walk through this together and show you how what we've been saying to you before your video can now be applied to the specifics of your situation. You talked about how you're in a little bit of competition with the person you live with in relationship to who does what. Sometimes there are things that any of you feel like you need to do that you don't necessarily want to do. And if you have not made the decision about doing it and have lined up with the decision about doing it, meaning you've joined forces with your inner being who finds things interesting, everything you do, we're talking about every physical task or household chore, for example, that you do, has the possibility of evolving into something that you are doing with improvement and therefore can captivate your interest. Now, what we're saying with all of these sort of awkward words that Esther is finding as she's trying to find vocabulary that carefully matches the intention of the vibration that we are sending through her to you. What's going on here is that you're supposed to feel good in your life. And you have the ability to feel good, wait for it, in every moment of your life, provided you do a couple of things that we're going to present to you here. Make a decision that you're going to do it and line up with that decision, which means you line up with your inner being, which means you line up with the energy that creates worlds, which means you line up with innovation, which means you line up with improvement, which means you line up with making whatever it is that you are going to do, mundane as you may be perceiving it to be as you make this video, you're lining up with it in a way that makes it interesting and therefore life-giving. Oh, so much we are contemplating together here in just this first little bit of time that we've been together. When you make a decision and line up with that decision, you focus energy into yourself and toward your object of attention. That is the most deliberate of deliberate creation.